So what is CSPM? Well, it's Cloud Security Posture Management. So basically, what it comes down to it analyzes the cloud infrastructure, be it a configuration, management, or the workloads running. A lot of CSPMs have moved into cloud workload protection as well. And basically, they monitor for potential issues with configurations of the actual scripts themselves or the build processes, as well as the running configurations of your cloud environment. So what can it do? Well, identify misconfigurations. So a great example of this one is that if you have a policy in place that says you should not allow S3 bucket public access, well, then that should be something that you are compliant with across the entire board. So what they can do is they can look at the JSON using the API integration, tie into those and say, oh, someone, admin A just configured an S3 bucket without that security piece in place. And what's interesting about cloud security posture management tools is that there's two modes. There's a monitor mode, and then there's what's called monitor and protect. Monitor mode basically does exactly what you expect it to do. It'll take the information from the API, the JSON calls, all those kind of things. It'll tell you that something went wrong and that you're outside of compliance for XY reason. There's also monitor and protect mode, which can actually roll back those configurations in real time and be able to then say, hey, admin A just made an unsecured S3 bucket. We've pulled back that configuration because it's not allowed per our policy. And now we've got a active log of, okay, this is what happened. And of course you can make, just exceptions to the rule kind of thing and all that, just in case you would need a use case for an S3 public bucket, for instance. But at least you're aware of that and you're aware of that escalation piece. And of course, a lot of the CSPMs come with integration to many different third-party tools, Slack, PagerDuty, those kind of things, to be able to alert you in real time, maybe your help desk or maybe your security team, whoever it is, that maybe that a policy might have been violated, that might be a problem. I talked about the remediation auto. It can compare configurations from industry standards. So a lot of what we do at Centercom when we do our CIS is we take a CSPM and we'll integrate it into your system and we'll take snapshots as we go. And what we'll notice is that as we start showing these holes in the security environment, things start closing up. And then in real time, we can then assess that and say, hey, you guys are doing great. You've closed 20% of what we found originally just before our assessment. And our assessments take typically like 2 or 3 weeks as a snapshot. But basically, we can pull that information in and then be able to show the bosses, the executive level suite, whoever, that there is active work going on as in the security standpoint to be able to close those gaps. And then, of course, because of the way that the cloud changes and it's ephemeral, the continuous monitoring is key importance. So just because you hire someone like us that we take snapshots, you do an audit and assessment thing for your compliance, for your whatever your data security insurance that you've got going on. Just because you do that doesn't mean that you are fully safe from a breach. And as we like to say, you always assume that you're going to be breached at some point in time. So how do you mitigate that?